Hi, welcome back to the Programming in Ninox Learning Series. In this class, we're going to complete our discussion of functions by looking at date functions. Date functions break down into two categories, notably date tags, which allow us to extract information or metadata about a date, and date math, which allows us to calculate results based on a date or multiple dates in a date range. We'll start with our date tags. Date tags are particularly important because they're the most common search tag when searching for arrays or selections of data. Maybe we're looking for all transactions from last month, or we're looking for all payroll from last quarter, or we want to see how many employees we added last year. Date tags make it very easy for us to create searchable tags or indexes for any record that contains a date where we might want to use that date or information about it as search criteria. The first tag is the year tag, and this allows us to extract the year component of a date. And in this case, we're looking at the start date. Like all date tags, the syntax is very simple. The information you wish to extract and the single date from which you wish to extract it. So this will extract the 4-digit year of this date field. We then have the quarter tag, again, defining what we want to extract and the date from which it's being extracted. Keep in mind, quarters are set based on a calendar year. So January, February, and March would result in a 1, first quarter. April, May, June is quarter 2. July, August, September is the third quarter. And the fourth quarter of the year is October, November, December. You can adjust this if your year begins on a month other than January by simply adding a fixed integer to the result of the quarter tag. The month index tag tells us the number of the month of a date. This will always return a number between 1 and 12, where 1 is January and 12 is December. The month name tag allows us to see the full name of the month in standard case with the first character capitalized, the remaining characters lowercase. This is the name of the month of the particular date that is the parameter. Then we get to the day of the month. If our date in this case is January 1st, then that is the first day of the month. As the date changes, maybe we change the date to December 29th, 1987, that will give us the 29th day of the month. So this is a number between 1 and 31, depending on the number of days in the month. And yes, Ninox does keep track of leap year. Moving on, we have the day of the week index. This is a numeric result between 0 and 6, where 0 refers to Monday and 6 refers to Sunday. Remember, Ninox is a zero-based system, so the first day of the week is the 0 day, and the last day of the week is the 6th day. That's the weekday function. We also have a common day of week. While Ninox recognizes Monday as the first day of the week in the 0 day, and Sunday is the last day of the week, day number 6, it's more common to recognize Monday as the first day of the week and Sunday as day number 7. The way we can accomplish that is by simply taking the weekday function and adding 1. That makes Monday day number 1 and Sunday day number 7. Similar to the month name function, the weekday name function allows us to extract the full name in standard case of the day of the week that is this date. And this will return Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. You could use the substring feature to abbreviate this to the first 3 days of the week, and the upper and lower functions if you wanted to format that in all lower or all uppercase. And then we have these 3 compound tags, the year week, year month, and year quarter tag. What these tags return are multiple pieces of information about a specific date. Here we see the year week tag, which returns the 4-digit year and the 1 or 2-digit week of a particular date. The year month tag of this date would be 2023 and the first month, while the year quarter tag is the 4-digit year and Q for quarter and a number 1 to 4. The year month tag looks like this, all lowercase with a single parameter, and the year quarter tag looks like that. Year quarter, all lowercase, again with a single date parameter. These tags will often be placed in formulas on key records in tables where we wish to perform date searches. These are most commonly transaction tables, but they can also be any table that has a date. Now let's take a look at date math, where the date tags took a single date as a parameter and extracted a piece of information about that date parameter. Date math allows us to calculate information about one or multiple dates. For example, we can calculate the number of full years between 2 dates using the age function. Now you'll notice that there's only one parameter. The second parameter is always the current date, today's date. So what we're asking here is, how many years have transpired between this date, the date parameter, and today's date? And keep in mind, this will return an integer, a full number of years without a month indicator. It'll round up or down to a full year. We also can use the date function to calculate days forward or backward. Now the date function converts 3 numeric parameters into date content. Remember in previous classes we've talked about declaring variables. Well, the date function declares these 3 numbers, a year number, a month number, and a day number, as a date field or a date value. What we then can do is use simple addition and subtraction to return the date a number of days ahead or behind a current date. So in this situation, we're taking the year of the beginning date, the month of the beginning date, and the day of the beginning date, and adding 30 days to that. This will tell us what the date is going to be 30 days from this date. The same way we can calculate a specific date n days from today, we can calculate what a date was n days ago using that same format, the date and 3 integers, the year, the month, and the day, and then subtract 75 days from that date. So the date 75 days prior to this date was October 18th, 2022. When it's important to know exactly how many days have transpired between 2 dates, and you want to set those dates, we use the days function. Remember, the age function told us how many years had transpired between a start date and today's date. The days function tells us how many days have transpired between the starting date and the ending date. You could divide this by 365 to calculate that in years, or you can use this in any formula where a duration of days is required. We also can calculate how many weekday days. It's important to note that this days function takes all 7 days of the week, including weekends, into consideration when calculating how many days have passed between the start date and the end date. Conversely, the workdays function calculates how many days have transpired between the start date and the end date, not including Saturdays or Sundays. And then finally, we can format dates. The same way we were able to format text and format numbers, we can format dates using specific date tags. Here we see the upper function is going to be applied to a substring of the day of the week name. That's the formula where we calculated the full name written out of the day of the week of a specific date. And what we're saying here is we wish to see the first 3 characters of that week name, and we wish to see them in uppercase. We can then add a blank space and produce the fully spelled out name of month. Another space is added, and we then present the year. Then, in parentheses, we can show the quarter of the month and then add the final parenthesis. This takes the text and the digits that represent the names of the day, the month, and the year in the quarter, and allows us to concatenate them into a single string that represents a specific date. That concatenation string that I just showed you results in this. The date, when formatted according to that string, comes out as Sunday, all caps, the full name of the month, the 4-digit year, and then in parentheses, the quarter in which this month occurs. We return the quarter 1 because January is the first month of the first quarter of the year. And then finally, we have the function that allows us to calculate today's date. And this is a function that takes no parameters. It's simply the word today with an open and close parenthesis. This will always return the current month, day, and year according to the date on the computer or server where your Ninox application is running. These date tags and date math functions allow us to use all of the information embedded in a date or a range of dates to get critical metadata on which we can search or that we can use in date-centric calculations, like aging our receivables or calculating how many work days in a month. In our next class, we're going to start talking about a new object, buttons. I'll see you there. Visit us at www.nioxis.com. Here you can learn about different Ninox solutions. You can get tech support through our Ninox help desk, which is available 7 days a week, or you can schedule private one-on-one concierge sessions for training, or we can help you build your application. And if you haven't done so already, sign up for our free Ninox Learning Lab. We do this every Thursday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. in the UK, 6 p.m. Central European Time. These free hour-long sessions enable you to learn more about Ninox, features, functions, and solutions. We have open Q&A where you can get answers to all your Ninox questions, and you can meet other members of the global Ninox community. We look forward to seeing you there.